Hello everyone, this is Vishal Dake, Assistant Professor, Electrical Engineering Department, Sardar Patel College of Engineering, Mumbai. In this video, we are going to discuss measurement of capacitance of parallel and series RC circuit. So to find out the capacitance, here time constant of charging and discharging circuit is used. So in this case, here we have considered two cases. The first is parallel RC circuit and second is series RC circuit. So in first case, battery is connected E, then switch S, Cx is a capacitor of unknown capacitance, R is connected in parallel with Cx, and V0 is the voltage, output voltage which is measured across a resistance R. So obtained waveform is like this. Our interest to find out how much is the time required for discharging this parallel RC circuit from the peak value or maximum value to its minimum value. In second circuit, battery is connected E, switch S, Cx capacitor of unknown capacitance value, R is the resistance which is connected in series with the Cx, and V0 as the output voltage which is measured across the resistance R. So obtained waveform is like this. So here we have the peak value and here a minimum value. So whatever the discharging time required for this circuit is our interest, because we know that time constant is equal to R into C. If we know the value of time constant, if we know the value of R, we could easily find out the unknown value of capacitance C. Now there are two methods to find out the unknown value of a discharging time. Unknown value of capacitance by using charging and discharging time of a parallel and series RC circuit. So first method is the window comparator method and second is Schmitt-Trigger method. So in first method, two comparators are used to find out how much is the time required for discharging the capacitor. So here the voltage transfer characteristics for window comparator is shown. VH is the higher voltage level and VL is a lower voltage level. So epsilon is represented as ratio of VH by VL, that is higher voltage level to lower voltage level. So if you see here at the starting, as the waveform rise from 0 to max, so waveform is like this, and when it is discharging, so it go from VH to VL like this. So here we'll obtain a window. So by using comparator, we could find out how much is the discharging time required. Now the second is Schmitt-Trigger method. So in Schmitt-Trigger method, we have two levels. One is VL, that is lower voltage level, and VH, higher voltage level. VI as a input VI. Now here we'll get when there is charging of the circuit takes place. So the waveform is like A, B, C, D like this, and during discharging we have waveform like D, C, B, A. So here we'll obtain a window. So the output, if you see here, Q and R, so whatever this time interval is measured Tx. So this time interval Tx is nothing but the discharging time of the series and parallel RC circuit. That is our interest, to find out how much is the time interval between the voltage level VH and VL. Functional diagram of timer. The main block consists of input voltage, lower comparator, upper comparator, RS flip-flop, and output voltage. Then VCC is given. Now this VCC is divided into two parts. Here at this terminal we will get a 2 by 3 VCC, here 1 by 3 VCC by using these three resistors, first, second and third. So this is about the block diagram. Now the working principle, how it works. So there are three conditions. First condition is VI is less than 1 by 3 VCC. When VI is less than 1 by 3 VCC, so this VI is given to the negative terminal of a load comparator. The value is 1 by 3, less than 1 by 3 VCC. For positive terminal, the input is 1 by 3 VCC. So here positive terminal input is more than negative terminal input, so the output is high. It means that the value of ES is high. Similarly, this V in is given to the positive terminal of upper comparator. The value of this positive terminal is less than 1 by 3 VCC. For negative terminal, the value given 2 by 3 VCC. So here the value of negative terminal is more than the value of positive terminal. So whatever the output for R is low, because non-inverting input is more than inverting input is more than non-inverting input. So R is low here, S is high, and RS flip-flop is used. So whatever the output, Q is high. So this is first case. Now for second case. In second case, the value of VI is between 1 by 3 VCC to 2 by 3 VCC. So this input is given to negative terminal and positive terminal of the comparator. So at this condition, we'll get R is low, S is low and Q is high. Now case number 3. In third case, VI is more than equal to 2 by 3 VCC. So at that time, we'll get R is high, S is low and Q is low basically, because it is low. Just make it correction, it is low. So we'll get first condition VI less than 1 by 3 VCC. So R is low, S is high, Q is high. Second condition, VI is between 1 by 3 VCC to 2 by 3 VCC. So R is low, S is low and Q is high. In third case, when VI is more than equal to 2 by 3 VCC, we'll get R is high, S is low and Q is low. So by mistake I wrote there high, but it is low value. Now waveform. So here this waveform is divided into three conditions. We already discussed in a previous slide. So first condition is VI is less than 1 by 3 VCC. So this is about the first condition, where let's say this is first condition. So VI is less than 1 by 3 VCC. Second condition, VI is in between 1 by 3 VCC to 2 by 3 VCC. So this is second condition. And third condition, in third condition VI is more than equal to 2 by 3 VCC. So this is about third condition. Now in first condition, R is low, so R is 0, S is high, so S is 1 and Q is high, so Q is 1. Now in second condition, VI is in between 1 by 3 to 2 by 3. So R is low, between 0. S is low, S is also 0 and Q is high. So here we'll get a Q as a high value. In third case, R is high, so R is 1, S is low, that is 0, and Q is low. By mistake I wrote there high, but it is a low, so Q is low. So these are about the output of RS flip-flop is shown here. When the wave is rising, then it follows the path like A, B, C, D, E, and the waveform is trading, the path follows like E, D, F, B, A. If you see here, the window formation takes place which follows the path B, C, D, F, B. Now what is this path? This path is nothing but the charging and discharging time of the capacitor. So once we'll get this path, we could find out how much is the time constant of a series and parallel RC circuit. So if you know the value of tau, that is time constant, and if you know the value of a resistor R, then we could easily find out how much is the capacitance of capacitor. So this is our objective, is to find out the capacitor by using comparator circuit. Next part is Schmitt trigger circuit with adjustable level. In this circuit, timer 555 is used for or to find out the time constant of a series and parallel RC circuit. The advantage of this circuit is we could adjust the level of VH and VL. It depends on us how to adjust the VH and VL by using alpha. Now the block diagram consists of one comparator, then timer 555, VH higher level, V0 output, VCC, Vi, and alpha we could set. It depends on us how to set the value of VH and VL. Now here the alpha is given, alpha equal to VH by 2 minus VL divided by VCC minus VL. Then the question is how to find out the alpha. To find out the alpha value, the threshold voltage of pin 2 is given by V2. V2 is the voltage at pin number 2. It is nothing but 1 minus alpha into Vi. Vi is the input voltage plus alpha into VCC. Now when the Vi is equal to VL, that is Vi equal to low voltage level, then V2 should be VH by 2. If we put the value of this Vi equal to VL and V2 equal to VH by 2, then we'll get this result. And by solving the equation, we'll get the alpha values like this. Alpha is equal to VH by 2 minus VL divided by VCC minus VL. So this is about to find out the alpha. So by using alpha, we can adjust the desired value of VH and VL. So by using timer 555, the one advantage is that we can adjust the desired value of VH and VL. So this is about the measurement of capacitance by using time constant tau. So we could find out the value of capacitor of the charging and the value of capacitance of capacitor. The next point is measurement of time interval between two events defined by voltage level. So if there are two voltage levels and we want to find out how much is the time interval between these two voltage level, so almost as we discussed earlier to find out the capacitance, so similar type of technique is used here. So this diagram consists of, the waveform consists of one input Vi with the rising waveform and trailing waveform. Here our objective is to find out what is the time interval between two voltage level VH and VL. So how much is the time between VH and VL, that is time between RS. So let's say this is time. So our objective is to find out how much is the time T between the R and S. This is our objective. Now here we can see the comparator is used here to find out that time, how much is the time. So if you see, this is our original waveform VI, consists of two voltage levels VL and VH. Now we use a comparator circuit. So by using comparator, we'll get a window. So window consists of one level, that is VL level and VH level. So the closed path is formed like this between B, C, E, F, B. Now the output is Rx. So here we'll get a how much is the time difference or time interval between VH and VL. As we discussed in earlier slide, how to find out the time interval between two voltage levels. So by using comparator, we could find out how much is the time interval. So in next slide, we could discuss about the how to find out that voltage levels and how to find out the time interval. Now the circuit diagram. This circuit diagram consists of two comparators. These are the two comparators. Then VI input voltage. This is VCC. So at this terminal we have VH value, that is higher voltage level. At this terminal we have VL value, low voltage level. And we want to find out how much is the time interval between these two events, that is high voltage level and low voltage level, by using comparator. Then one JK flip-flop is connected and AND gate is used. Now how to find out these voltages and how to find out the time interval. So if you see here, let's say VI is given to positive terminal of the comparator and VL is at a negative terminal of comparator. When the input voltage is more than lower voltage level, at that time this comparator will give a set value, that is 1. So at the same time, this VI is given to negative terminal and VH is here. Now in this case, VI is less than VH. So obviously here we will get a 0 value. So after some time, as the waveform rises from its minimum value to max value or more than VH, then we'll get to 1 value here. We could find out by using waveform in next slide. Sorry. Here we'll get a proper view. Now if you see, here is this first comparator C1. Now for C1, let's say V in as the input voltage, V in is given to positive terminal and set voltage is VL. So VL is here like this. Now when VI is more than VL, here waveform V in will get increases. Now at this point VI is more, so here we'll get a positive waveform up to VL level. So this is about C1. Then for comparator C2, it is connected to negative level and VH is here. So as soon as the V in is more than VH, in is given to negative terminal of the comparator. So we'll get an inverted waveform when the V in value is more than VH. So here we'll get a negative waveform. After that, JK flip-flop is used. For more information, I request go through truth table of the JK flip-flop or as well as the toggle condition of JK flip-flop. Then you will get idea how the JK flip-flop is worked. So by using this comparator C1 and C2, we'll get this output of the JK flip-flop is like this. So if you see here, this is 1, this is 1 and this is 1. So it is given to AND gate. So when these three inputs are 1, at that time we will get a output 1. This is nothing but the time interval between R and S point. So here we will get a time interval T. So this is about to find out time interval between two events by using voltage levels. So here we'll stop. Thank you.